We'll continue our availabilities this morning. We are now joined by Matt Kenseth, driver of the number 20 Dollar General Toyota. Matt, you won here in the spring. You've since captured wins in 2 of the last 3 races as of late. What are the chances the team can notch another victory here tomorrow night?
1 in 43. You know, it's been a good track for us. I was like coming up here at Bristol. I feel like since I've got to JGR, it's been one of the better tracks, I think. As a company, Carl had a good test a couple weeks ago, so looking forward to getting on the track today and you know, seeing how we stack up. Work as hard as we can today, and hopefully have a good qualifying run tonight and have it where we need it tomorrow.
Okay, we'll go ahead and open it up to questions. Please state your name and affiliation. We'll start up here and then go to Kenny.
Jonathan Merriman, NASCAR.com. When you look at the stable of drivers at JGR, every one of you is really good here at Bristol in your own right. How expansive is, you know, your notebook and your knowledge, seeing that all 4 of you guys have won here, all 4 of you guys have dominated races here, and how does that improve the team's chances as a whole coming to this track?
Well, I mean, I feel like when I look at my teammates, they don't really have any weak tracks. Really, when I look at those guys and really think about it, so I mean that always helps. It always makes you better. But every week is different. Every time you come back to a track, you know, seems like it has a little different set of challenges, and things certainly change from April till August. So, but yeah, I mean, it has been overall, it's been a good track off and on for all of us. So hopefully all the cars will run good today and tomorrow, and one of us will have a shot.
Kenny Bruce, NASCAR.com. Matt, you mentioned coming back to a track for a second time. How much, I know you haven't been on the track yet, but how much do you expect your setup to be different this weekend compared to what it was back here in April, just because of the time that's elapsed?
Well, I know we're starting a lot different because we wanted to try some different things after April. I expect the track to be a lot different, you know, from qualifying all the way to the race. So that's one of the challenges here, you know, in the spring. You know, it was pretty cold, and I think it was rainy even for qualifying day, and we all qualified on the bottom. I don't expect it to be like that this time. I expect everybody to qualify in the middle of the top, and that's always a challenge because you got to know, you know, your car is quite a bit different from the bottom to the top, and you kind of have to set up for that. So typically the track's a lot different. If the weather forecast is right and it stays nice out from here all the way through the race, I think it's going to be a lot different than it was, you know, in the spring, and we're going to have to be ready for that and be set up for that, and, you know, adapt your driving style and everything else, you know, to go along with that.
All right, we'll go to Woody, and then here in the middle in the white shirt.
Woody Kane, MRN. Matt, just curious about early in your career, who was the most instrumental person that helped you get to where you are now, and how they did that, how they helped you get here?
Well, man, that would be a long story if you're going to list everybody, but I always think that, you know, every rung in the ladder is equally as important. Without any one of those, you're not going to get to the top of the ladder. You know, you don't skip one. You climb on all of them. So I've had a lot of great people through my career that have helped me a lot. Some people more than others. You know, it's hard to grade them. You know, because without any of them, you wouldn't be here. But certainly my dad, I would have never got into racing without my dad. You know, a lot of people helped me at a local level. A lot of different car owners helped me move up and drive stuff that me and my dad couldn't afford to build and race. And certainly having success at those levels, you know, helped me get the opportunity to, you know, to move up. So like I say, there's a lot of people along the way that helped, and in a way, they're all, you know, equally as important. Without any one of them, I probably would have never made it.
Go ahead, Mike.
Mike Hembry, USA Today. A lot of good cars and drivers out there, obviously, but you guys seem to have everything right at the right time, peaking at the right time, and all that. Is there a reason that JGR shouldn't be considered the favorite moving into the chase?
You know, I don't think you sit here in the middle of August and pick favorites for the chase. I know we're only a month away or so, but you know, when you're on a roll, it's fun, and you have to enjoy it because they never last forever, and you don't know how long they're going to last. So I think you just, you know, try to keep working at the same pace and keep trying to get better. You know, whether we're behind right now or catching up or ahead or the same or what have you. I think you got to keep working at it. So there's been a lot of really unique, different racetracks that we've been to the last couple months. You know, a few different aerodynamic packages. So there's been some moving targets there. So you know, when you get in the chase of it, everybody knows what the rules are and what the tracks are coming up and everything. So hopefully we have everything, you know, where we need it, you know, in September coming up here.
Paul Woody, Richmond Times-Dispatch. Matt, going back over some history, 2013, 7 wins. This year, 3 wins. No wins in 2014. Can you, when you look at those years, can you analyze what the difference is between them?
Between which ones? You listed 3 of them there.
Well, I'm curious as to the success of 13 and 15 as opposed to no wins in 2014, even though you scored well on the points.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, as an organization, last year was a down year. I don't think there's one reason for that. There never really is. Although when people start running good or start running bad, everybody, especially when they get panicked, always tries to find one thing to either give the credit or blame it on. But it's really a combination of a lot of little things, and we just got ourselves behind. And you know, I feel like certainly we're catching up now. There's a lot of areas I feel like we're doing a much better job in than what we did last year. And we were just, you know, like I said, there's several reasons for it. We were just behind and had an off year, and it's kind of the way the sport is. If you're really fortunate, you drive for really great teams like I do, and you have some times that are really, really good, but you're also going to have some times where you're behind and you're trying to get caught up and you know, figuring out, you know, what you're missing and why and how you correct that. Just kind of the way it goes.
We'll go to Dustin and then Bob.
To your left, Dustin Long, NBC Sports. Can you explain the difference between the 2 lines on the restart, how much more advantage it is seemingly to be on the outside, and how much what you have to do if you're on the inside to try to counter that?
Yeah, man, I think the inside's a lot better, and I think everybody that gets a choice should pick the inside. You know, the biggest thing here, it's not so much when you get to the corner. It's just getting rolling in that restart zone. There's just a lot more. I mean, when you get to the corner too, but mainly just getting rolling. There's just a lot less straight line grip on the bottom. There's less rubber there because less people run. There's less banking there. The way they built the track is a dish. There's a lot of reasons, but it just seems like it's hard to get rolling, you know, from the bottom groove. You just got a lot more tire spin. That's the biggest problem. When you get to the corner, you can, you know, the outside's a lot better, especially in a summer race, a lot better with the track being warm and all the rubber that gets up there. But you know, it's just tougher to get rolling. Plus, the guy on the outside has all the advantage. He gets to pick when he goes, and the inside guy, when you get to these smaller tracks and higher gear ratios and stuff, you know, he's watching that outside guy, and you can't beat him out of the zone. So you're always a split second later getting to the gas, and with these tall gears and stuff, you run at these kind of places, they just get away pretty quick.
Go ahead, Bob.
Bob Pockris, ESPN. With the Waltrip announcement that they're not going to field the cars next year, do you all need to have another Toyota organization, you know, running cars, and does it matter to you who it is?
I don't know. That'd be a better question, I think, for, you know, the management and the competition people at JGR. I don't know what, and for Toyota and TRD, really, I don't really know.
Mark Garrow, PRN. Matt, the last race here in the spring, a lot of the fans talked about, and we witnessed a race that got a little bit more physical than it has here recently. Do you feel like some of the old Bristol is coming back in the point where you guys are stuck in the same place? It's getting frustrating, and you got to kind of lay a little bit of sheet metal on somebody to sometimes make a move?
Well, I mean, it's just, since they reconfigure, it's just so different. You know, it's nothing at all like it used to be. But yet, on the other hand, it does turn into one groove. It's just the groove is up on top, and it's a lot faster. Certainly with this car, compared to if you want to go back 10 years ago, it's a lot different. And even if you want to just move someone and pass them, it's much more challenging than it used to be for the way the cars are designed and what have you. But yeah, certainly I think whenever you have a faster car and you're behind someone and you can't get around them because there's such a huge speed difference in the grooves, you know, of course you get frustrated. Whenever you got a faster car, you want to be able to pass the car in front of you.
Jeff Gluck from USA Today. Matt, do you get at all caught up in the whole hype of this race? Because, you know, the pre-race here, when you guys walk out, you talk to the crowd, it's different than pretty much everywhere else, especially for the night race. Does your adrenaline pump a little bit more because of all that?
Well, I mean, I think everybody loves racing here at Bristol. It's a really unique environment, unlike any other one we have. I think I remember the first time we won a night race. I remember how fired up my guys were. They're almost more fired up than any other win we ever had, in a way, which sort of surprised me. So me, once I get racing, I don't feel any different than any other race. I mean, you're trying to do the same things and approach things the same and think about things the same and all that. You don't really get into that. But certainly I think, pre-race and seeing the crowd and post-race and some of the stuff that happens here, I think it's certainly, one of the more fun environments to be around. No, not really. Not any more or less than normal.
Any final questions for Matt? Okay, Matt, thanks for joining
All
us
right,
today.
thanks.